House Republicans, with assistance from Democrats, successfully passed a stopgap bill to fund the government in a last-minute effort to avoid a shutdown. This surprising turn of events followed a bleak outlook the day before and marked the beginning of a new political drama regarding the potential ousting of the House Speaker by a faction within his own party. The bill, which received a 335-91 vote, had the support of 209 Democrats and 125 Republicans. It would keep the government funded for 45 days and also allocate funds for domestic disaster relief. Notably, the legislation did not include aid for Ukraine, despite strong advocacy from Democrats, the White House, and some Republicans. Additionally, it omitted a border security policy that was unacceptable to the Senate. After successfully passing the House, the measure swiftly moved through the Senate, avoiding a government shutdown that had seemed almost inevitable just one day earlier. This quick turnaround came after a 2-hour meeting among House Republicans, which followed a failed attempt to pass a partisan continuing resolution on Friday. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy announced that the House would put the stopgap bill on the floor, citing the need for more time to address border security while keeping the government operational. Democrats, however, raised concerns about the limited time they had to review the legislation before the vote, leading to procedural delays to allow for a more thorough examination of the continuing resolution. The bill required a 2/3 majority to pass, using a fast-track mechanism under suspension of the rule to expedite the process. Given the slim Republican majority, the House Speaker relied on support from numerous Democrats to secure approval. McCarthy appeared to acknowledge the political risk of seeking Democratic support for the legislation and issued a challenge to far-right members who had threatened to remove him from his position if he pursued this course of action. He stated that he was willing to risk his job to stand up for the American public. While some Democrats criticized the bill for its omission of aid to Ukraine, the majority ultimately backed it. In the Senate, initial plans to proceed with a separate continuing resolution were put on hold as Senate Republicans, who had previously supported the legislation, waited to see how the House would proceed. The absence of aid for Ukraine led to a temporary standstill. However, with only a few hours left to fund the government, the Senate voted 88-9 in favor of the House-passed measure. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer announced that Democrats and Republicans had reached an agreement to keep the government open, but he emphasized that efforts to secure additional economic and security aid for Ukraine would continue.